for day 6. I'm so glad that you've been able to carve out the time for the last 6 sessions and be able to participate with me. You should be proud of yourself for sticking with it so far. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest barriers to self-care, the feeling of being enough. Are you worth it? Did you accomplish enough to deserve it? Can you afford to spend the time on you? If you were not a clear yes on all of those questions, you're not alone. I'm so glad you've carved out the time today and for the rest of the week to be able to spend a little time on you. You're so worth it. Just existing makes you worth it. We're going to start with some neck circles today. So sitting in your easy seat, I'm going to start by slowly rotating your head to the left. You don't need to go all the way back and fully extend your neck. Just to a nice neutral position and let your chin come forward onto your chest and roll from side to side. Switch sides, going to the right now. Again, nice and slow. Bring your spine up tall, your neck relaxed. Slowly moving one spot to the next. Come back to a neutral position. Do some shoulder shrugs. So bring your shoulders up to your ears and then lower them down. Bring them up, roll to the back, and bring your shoulder blades down your spine, down your back. Keep rolling. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale as you roll them forward. Switching directions here for a few repetitions. Now take your left hand to your right knee, and your right hand comes behind your back for a seated spinal twist. Keeping nice and long through the spine. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you deepen the twist, making sure that both sit bones stay on the mat. Come back to center. Go the opposite direction. So right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes behind, and exhale into the twist. Back to center. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Shoulders stacked over top of your elbows and wrists. Hips stacked over your knees. Belly in. Press up for cat. Sink your belly down for cow. We're going to go back and forth. Press up through the arms, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale back to cat. Start from the tailbone. Keeping the neck relaxed and the shoulder blades away from your ears. Tops of your feet press into the mat. Tuck your toes and press up to a forward fold. Slowly come to standing. You're standing at the end of your mat, coming into mountain. We're finding some grounding, connecting with the earth, remembering that we're a part of something bigger and we're important. Step your right foot back. Coming into Warrior One, bending the front knee, making sure that the knee stays in line with the second toe. Arms overhead, making that nice long line. If you're finding balance to be a challenge, you can keep your hands in front of your heart or on your knee. Turn your right foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. Deepen into that front bend, bending the knee a little bit deeper. Arms extended front to back for Warrior Two. Tuck the tailbone under, keeping both legs engaged. Tip forward with your left hand, reaching towards the mat. You can either put your elbow onto your knee or onto a block if you're having difficulty reaching. Getting a nice long line with your right arm all the way down to your right foot. Come back to standing. Bring your feet back together for mountain. Step back with your left foot. Bend the right knee and arms overhead for Warrior One. The tailbone tucked. Lower belly pulled in towards your spine. Your shoulder blades come down away from your ears. Turn your back foot to be parallel with the mat. Deepen that knee bend, arms extended to the sides for Warrior Two. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper into this, make sure that you move your feet apart instead of just bending the knee past the toe. So we're coming back into extended side angle. That right arm reaches down towards the mat, nice and long through the left side body. Come back to Warrior Two. Step your feet together into mountain pose. Bend down, forward fold. Hands come to the mat. And then bring your knees down to the mat into a tabletop position. Hands come down. You're going to tuck your toes and press your hips up to the sky for dolphin, getting a nice stretch through the upper back and the shoulders. You can bend your knees here a little bit if you need. Staying nice and elongated, getting the fold right at the hips. And if you can, press your up so that you're on your palms for downward facing dog. We're going to step forward into a forward fold, hands to your knees, halfway lift, fold, inhale, scoop your arms all the way up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, step back into plank, chaturanga, keeping the body nice and straight, pressing up into cobra, tuck the toes, and lift the hips for downward facing dog. Bring your knees back to the mat. And you're going to sit back onto your heels, lengthen the spine, and come up into a high kneeling position. So you're nice and tall. Hands come to the small of your back. And you're going to lean back, keeping the tops of your feet pressed into the mat, pushing your hip bones forward, opening the chest to the sky, camel pose. If you're a little more flexible than me, you could reach back for a block or your heels. Come back to sitting. You're going to widen the knees and press down into child's pose. Arms extended out in front of you. Let your heart melt towards the mat. Come on up into tabletop. We're going to come into lizard on the right side first. Stepping your feet back into plank, and the right foot steps up to the outside of your right hand. A nice deep lunge. This one can be kind of tricky. You really want to open those hips up. If you need to, you can bring that left leg down, back into dog, right foot steps back. And then we're going to take the left foot and step it up beside the left hand, coming down into lizard on the left, keeping the right leg extended. Keep your left knee hugged in towards your elbow. Step the left foot back, press into downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to forward fold, hands to your shins, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, scoop your arms up, exhale, dive back down, hands to the mat, chaturanga, keeping those elbows tucked in, baby cobra, tuck the toes, and press into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to a forward fold and slowly come up one vertebra at a time. Go back into mountain. We're going to go into tree. So stepping the right foot so it's pointing out away from your body, perpendicular to your left foot. Your right knee comes out to the side. Bring your foot up to the inside of your thigh or the inside of your lower leg, hands to the chest. Prayer position. If you're able to, extend up over your head. You might feel a little wobbly here. One side is often better than the other, more balanced than the other. That's okay. Bring your foot down and come back into mountain. I'm going to set up for the left side. Take your left foot, heel towards your ankle. Knee turns out to the outside. And bring your foot up to the inside of your leg. Some days are going to be better than others, so if you're wobbly, that's okay. Bring your hands to your heart. And as you're ready, you can extend up overhead. In here. And step your foot back down. Arms to the mat, forward fold. Bring your bum to your heels. And then we're going to sit back down onto our mat. And keep our feet extended in front of us, arms up overhead, and fold forward, reach for your toes. We want the fold to come from your hips here, so it doesn't matter how far you go down. It's about getting the right stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Keep the quads engaged, kneecaps lifted. Back to sitting up tall. Bring your soles of your feet together, bound angle. Let your knees fall out to the sides. There's no need to press them down. Just going to let gravity do its thing. If you need a little support underneath your knees, just put a little block or a pillow underneath there to help support them. Extend your legs back in front of you and come to lying on your back. And bend your knees. Get back flat on the ground. Arms extended in a T. Keep your knees together and let them fall to the right side. And looking to the left. A supine spinal twist. Allowing that twist to come through the core, through your torso. Keeping your shoulder blades pressed to the mat. Bring your knees back to center. You just shift your hips so you can let your knees fall to the left. Your gaze turns to the right. Take this time to let your breath flow. Come back to center before we get into our final Savasana. As we come into Shavasana, take your feet wide of the mat and let your knees fall together. Keeping your back flat. This is a nice position if your back is giving you a little grief today. Or you can extend your legs out fully, allowing your feet to just fall to the side. Letting your arms come to the sides and relax. Everything gets heavy as you melt into the mat. Your legs are feeling heavy. Let them relax. Let go of your belly. Your arms melt into the floor. Your jaw and face are relaxed. Today, as you're focusing on your breath, I'm going to give you an affirmation that you can take with you for the rest of your day, for the days ahead. It's important that we remember that self-care is about being there for ourselves as much as we're there for other people. So today, remember, I am enough. I am deserving of joy, of feeling good about myself, and to spend my most precious resource, my time, on myself. Take as much time here as you need. And when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and slowly roll to your left side, taking your time, coming back to the present space, back into sitting. Thank you so much for being here with me again today. I'm so glad you're taking time to take care of you. With light and love.